Hey everybody, welcome back to Everyday Journey. Today we're going to actually run the real mowers and do a test between them all. They vary in age. Not really sure what the ages are on them. I've got one that I think is pretty old. I think it used to have a wooden spindle in the back. You may have seen it in my last video. And if not, it's up here. I'll put it in the top. You can actually click on the card if you like. But then I think it's the oldest. And then I've got one that I had in my long time ago on how to sharpen them. That one right there is the second oldest. And then I've got two fairly new ones. Most of them have been given to me, or I got them really cheap at the scrapyard or something like that. So they're all used, but I want to check them out and see which ones, how well they work compared to each other. If you were going to go get one on your own, then which one would be best for ease of use and for well, just how well they cut and everything. So, but first off, I'm going to take my other push mower and I'm going to raise it as high as it goes. I'm going to go ahead and mow everything real quick so they're all starting with the same level of grass, because these things don't do very good with real tall grass, and that's what I've got out here is real tall grass. So I'm going to mow that first. Then after that, I'm going to make sure all of the mowers are actually adjusted up as high as they go, and then start cutting from there. And one of them I think maybe goes a lot higher than the other, so I'm going to probably have to adjust it back down, but we'll check it out anyway and lower it down, and we'll just compare the cuts and compare the ease of operation and everything else. So let's go out here and mow real quick. All right, to give these things a fair chance, I'm actually going to rake up this grass because it's way too thick. They don't handle very well with going through real tall cut grass like that. What they'll do is they'll bind up with the grass itself, and if you can get it to cut through there, going back in subsequent cuts so that you can get the rest of the tall grass, you'll find that it tries to recut the stuff that it already cut to begin with, so it kind of binds up on that. So I'm going to rake it up, and then I think I'm going to go back through here and mow the high parts again real quick, and then we'll go ahead and test the mowers. So here's the oldest one I got. This is the Craftsman 60. Let's go ahead and make a couple passes with it, see how it does. Okay, so as you can see, this thing is definitely cutting a lot lower than what the other mower was set for. We've got grass that keeps binding up in here. You can see there's a big chunk of it that came out. So once you get it cut to the right level, I think it'll be all right. So I'm going to go over this a couple more times real quick just so we can get the cut quality and see how that goes. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this one here, I'm not really sure what the brand is. I don't see any markings on it whatsoever to tell me. This is the one that I sharpened up in one of my videos. Let's go ahead and check it out. I think it's the next newest. So I'm gonna go right next to it, and I'm gonna leave them all parked right where I mowed. That way we can see. Again, this is much lower than what that mower was set to. I think somewhere around 4 inches. It seems to be cutting a lot better. I think it is sharpened up a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and make one more pass down real quick and back, just so we can kind of compare it to the other one. All right, move the camera over and we'll go ahead with the next one. This is the next newest one. This is American Lawnmower Company. My opinion, this one out of all of them seems to do the best with tall grass or taller grass. It seems to be able to actually grab hold of it and cut it up. Still doesn't do great just because of the real mower, but it does the best, I think. So let's go ahead and try it out. All right, so this one so far is the easiest to push. It also seems like it's cutting a lot higher. So just the way it's made, it can actually cut the grass a lot higher too. I'm going to make one more pass just to have a comparison, and then we'll start the next one. All right, this one is made by Fiskars, and it's actually the newest to me, and I think both of these you can still buy. So this one, what makes it different is it throws the grass out in front of it, which I don't know exactly. When the grass is a little bit taller, then it's just another chance for it to bind up. So not only are you cutting through taller grass, but you're also trying to cut what you just already cut. So you'll see how it goes. It's set at the highest right now. I'm not sure if I got to lower it down or not. We'll check it out. Oh yeah, it needs to be set down. It's adjusted all the way up to 4 inches. So we're going to go down to about what I think would be about 3. It only has 1 and 4, and then you just set it wherever you want in between. So let's see if that does anything. I'm going to go a little bit lower. That way we can actually see how it's cutting. And it's a little heavier than the other one, so pushing it is a little more effort, but it does push really, really smooth. So I'm going to make one more pass just to make it all even, and then we'll check everything out. So this is the first one, the Craftsman 60. And as you can see, there's still taller pieces of grass in here that, I mean, this is wet grass, so it was kind of slipping on the grass, which means that it wasn't actually turning the reel at that point. And it was cutting way too low. So if you actually had already cut with this, got it as low as you needed it, and then keep cutting with it, I think it'd be okay, although I think the blades need to be sharpened up a little bit better. But yeah, you can see taller stuff through here throughout. As far as ease of use, once you get it to the right height, get the grass to the right height, it's not too bad. These handles right here, rather they're old and everything else, but they are actually comfortable. So, and it seems pretty sturdy, and it has a lot of, let's see, show you this. It's heavy enough that it has a lot of momentum, so it wants to keep spinning. So that's not too bad. But yeah, it needs a lot of work. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the unbranded one, probably the sharpest of all of them. And there are a few places in here where it left a little bit of grass sticking up, but I only made, what, 4 passes on this, and really what it takes is to hit it once a week or so, keep it at the level that you want, and it'll be all right. As far as this goes, you can see lots of momentum. It keeps spinning, and when the grass is right, you can actually pull it back and forth, and it doesn't try to flip over or anything. The handles, on the other hand, you may want to watch out for that, because if you buy one, as this needs new handles on it, or at least needs something to keep that from kind of digging into your hands, because the metal's showing through right there. But overall, it's pretty easy to use, and I actually like this one. I think this one cuts the best, in my opinion. So the American Lawnmower Company, there are a few places. Here's a fairly tall one right here. There's a few places where it didn't cut. This one actually has been sharpened. Somebody tried to sharpen it like a knife, in that rather than keeping the edge completely flat like it's supposed to be, they tried to sharpen both sides of it. Luckily, they only did it in like one place on one of the blades there, so the other ones can compensate. But yeah, that almost ruins it. But like I said, it was just one, and it has, what, five blades on it, so the other ones work all right to take care of that. As far as ease for pushing, I think this one by far is the easiest to push. The handle is comfortable, but the padding on it has come loose and then all shifted to the left-hand side. So it really needs to be redone. I guess if you could get the padding, you could just undo these bolts right here, take this part off, and then slide a new piece on there. So, but this one, like I said, it pushes the best, it cuts the higher grass the best, and I kind of like it. I use that one more often than the others. So let's move on to the Fiskars. All right, so it's starting to rain on me. This is the Fiskars one. I do see bits of grass here. It probably does need to be sharpened up, but it's still cutting pretty well. It did, like you saw, it did throw the grass clippings out in front of it. It makes it more difficult because it's got to mow through that and the grass. So as far as ergonomics go, it stays in place where it's at. Push back and forth. It wants to stay exactly like it's supposed to. The handle is really comfortable. The padding is all there like it should be, but the handle is just the right height and it's comfortable. You know, given using this more often, it probably wouldn't be that bad. But I have found that when it's raised all the way up, it doesn't seem to cut as well. So it does, just like the other ones, it does better to be a little lower. And but overall, the cut's pretty good. Well, there you go. My conclusion is, rating wise, I think I like the American the American Lawnmower Company. I think I like that one the best. And if it was new and it was sharpened well, I think it would probably cut the best for the ease of operation. That handle though, that really needs to be fixed so that it's actually, the padding is not coming off everywhere. It does work really well when your hand's on the padding. The other part, it's smooth and curved and everything, so it doesn't really affect your hand, but it would be better if the padding was over there too. My next one, honestly, I would have to say the No Name brand one, because of how well it cuts. Now granted, I sharpened that one myself, and so I'm kind of partial to that one because I did sharpen it myself, and it's sharpened the best, I think, out of all of them. But it's a close tie with the Fiskars one. Fiskars, it's just a little bigger and heavier. So as far as pushing it, it tends to be a little more work. Now, if you've got a level lawn and you cut it often like you're supposed to, then it wouldn't be an issue at all. It's not that heavy, but there is a big noticeable difference, especially if you're trying to do it up a hill or something like that. You would probably want one of the lighter ones. And then the last one is the Craftsman 60. And that one doesn't seem like it would be too bad once you got the grass to the right height, make sure that it's well sharpened and everything else. But in general, I would say, getting a real mower, if you haven't gotten one yet and you're thinking about it, maybe you could borrow one from somebody just to try it out. And I say that because most people don't want to put that kind of work into it. It is a lot more than just pushing a lawnmower around. And you may have to cut over it twice, just so that you get it to the way you want it to be. If you cut it often enough, once a week, or maybe even a little bit more than that, then I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. Now, a lot of these you can get for free because people have gotten them, they've tried them out, they decided they didn't like them because it requires more work. Now, me, I kind of like that because I like the exercise. It's just a matter of whether I got the time to be able to actually use it as frequently as it needs to be used. They're really useful. Doesn't require oil, doesn't require gas, no filters, the only maintenance there is actually just sharpening the blades. And that right there you can do. If you go out and buy some of the sharpening compound, you could put that on there and then just spin it up or just use it, and it will kind of sharpen itself. Now if it gets dull, then it's a little more effort to get it sharpened back up, because the compound only hones the edge. It doesn't really sharpen a lot off of it. So if you got to do that, then maybe a sharpening stone like what my method that I tried, maybe that, just because it takes off more material. But the biggest thing is don't let them get dull. Also, when you get done with them, you could probably just spray it off real quick with a water hose, set it out, let it dry. Just take something like vegetable oil, or some kind of oil that's not going to be a big mess or harming the environment or anything like that, and just take your rag and with it on there and just wipe the blades real quick. The blades and the contact blade at the bottom of it that actually contacts the real blades. Just wipe those down real quick with some oil, and that'll keep them from rusting up or anything. And like I said, it should stay nice and sharp for a long time. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you actually want to go out and get some exercise, go get your real mower. These things they're awesome for exercise. As long as you don't let the grass get too high, then it is not too strenuous. It's just enough that you get your heartbeat up, and like I said, get you outdoors. So I appreciate you guys watching. Definitely like and subscribe to my videos, my channel, and put some comments out there. I'd love to hear them. I love reading them. I like to respond to them. Just try to keep it clean and, something that you wouldn't mind somebody telling you. Well, I guess that's all I got. So until next time, y'all take care.